This is Ryobi's 18V Random Orbital Polisher. So today, gonna have a look at what you get in the box, take a look at the polisher itself, then put it to the test, and I'll give you my final thoughts once I've had some time to use it. Polishing pad. The polisher itself, a couple of different polishing pads, instruction manual, and the D handle. Nice to see they've kind of gone away from the plastic packaging in here. That just pops on there. A few different levels of adjustment, I suppose. Pop the washer onto this. Pop that Allen bolt into there and tighten it up. The Allen key that was provided. Same on the other side. There is a spot here in the end to store the Allen key out of the way, which is nice. All right, well that is the machine set up. Got the D handle here, obviously. There's another handhold at the front, which is nice. The switch on top, which locks into place. So you can just have it on. Got a dial on the back here for the speeds, which vary between 3,000 and 7,500 RPM. And I do like that it's just got the actual speeds listed on there rather than a range of numbers. The battery goes on there. This is just the skin, so you've got to purchase a charger and battery separately if you don't have one of those. A couple of nice little features. Looks like some rubber pads there. If that's sitting on the car, it's not going to scratch your paint. So we've got 3 included pads. These are 125mm pads, so standard 5-inch polishing pad. So you don't have to use just the Ryobi products. You can just buy any of your standard polishing pads. There's a whole aftermarket sort of suite of pads that you can buy. The polishing pad has just got a Velcro backing on there, so pretty universal application. And the 3 pads provided, so you've got the black one, which is sort of a softer one, which is for waxing and applying wax. Then you've got the yellow one, which is like a medium polishing pad, so for taking out swirls and very minor scratches. And then a compound pad, which is for doing more aggressive cutting, taking out scratches. So the tool itself weighs 2.1 kilos. We've got that 125mm disc. It's got an 8mm orbit. So that's handy to try and avoid getting additional swirls in your paint as you're polishing. They reckon 45 minutes of run time with a 5-amp battery, which is what I'm going to be running. That sounds pretty reasonable to me. Most people, like myself, will have multiple batteries, so that shouldn't be an issue. That's plenty of run time. It does feels pretty sturdy, solid. I like the lock-on switch. It's going to be, when you're using it for a while, it's going to be good to be able to just lock that on and not have your thumb trying to hold that switch in place constantly. So overall in your hands, feels quite good. There's a few different spots you can grab onto. Feels like it's fairly well constructed. And when I put a 5-amp battery in there, it doesn't feel overly heavy still feels quite good. The one probably point that I'm wary of how well it's made and how long it's going to last is the disc that the pad's attached to. I have seen on the Ryobi orbital sanders, these after a couple of years have just disintegrated. So that's probably the one sort of weak point, but looks like we can take this off and replace it if need be. Hopefully that's not something we need to do. And they do have their standard 6-year warranty, as they do with all the Ryobi products. So, I mean, if it breaks in that time, I'm sure you can get it replaced, no questions asked. The pads just attach like this and peel off and on. You've got the Velcro backing, so you can order any pads that you want. And then if we power it on, you can see it spinning like that. Now, the reason that I actually ordered this was because while I had the Subaru parked up in the shed for quite a while, it ended up getting quite a few scratches, especially on the bonnet. I think some sort of animal or something has climbed up on there. So I'm wanting to do quite a sort of deep cut on it and do a bit of paint correction. So we'll get into it with the compound cutting pad and we'll see how it goes. So you can see the level of scratching on here. So I'm going to use the Meguiar's cutting compound and the compound pad and see if we can get these out.
Hit the gas.
As you can see, the polisher was incredibly effective at removing those scratches, and more than that, it was really effective at returning a lot of shine to the paint and really restoring it and bringing back a lot of color to the paint that I didn't even realize was lacking until after I'd polished it. I then went ahead and polished the whole car, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. The whole car is looking really good. There's a lot more shine to it. The water beading on it is really good. Using the polisher was really good. It's comfortable to hold, it's easy to hold. I didn't find that it was too heavy or anything like that with a 5 amp battery in it. Yeah, it's just easy to use. Found a little bit of vibration when using it at higher speeds for long periods, but it wasn't something that was unexpected. Like with a tool like this, I expected, you know, a little bit of vibration and movement there. And yeah, nothing to put you off in that regard. So let's talk a little bit about the downsides for this. And it really comes down to the battery and the cordless operation. I definitely didn't get anywhere near the 45 minutes of runtime that is advertised. Now, I was doing quite a heavy cut, so I had it turned all the way up to really get effective cutting out of it. I'm not sure exactly how much time I got out of it, but I got pretty much the bonnet and then half the roof before I drained one 5 amp battery, maybe half of the 45 minutes as a guess. I then swapped over to another fully charged 5 amp battery and I was able to finish the roof and the back of the car, and I then drained the second 5 amp battery, and by the time I'd done that, the first one hadn't fully recharged, so I didn't have a fresh full one to go back into it, and I just ended up at a point where both my batteries were completely flat and I ended up just going and having a cup of tea while they charged. So that wasn't ideal. The other thing I noticed was when the battery was kind of getting towards flat, it didn't have as much power as a fully charged battery. Now, I didn't notice this as I was using it, but as soon as I took a flat battery out and put a fully charged battery back in, I noticed that it had considerably more power. So it's obviously diminishing the amount of power that it's using as the battery is getting close to flat. For most of the time running it, it was fine, but yeah, towards the end there, a little bit less power. Now, if you're thinking of getting this polisher to do a lot of detailing work, you want to work on cars regularly, and or you don't have a big supply of the larger batteries like 5 amp plus, and I would say at least 3 batteries and a fast charger, but probably more, maybe 4 batteries would be ideal, then you really might want to consider a different polisher, probably a corded one, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of stuff. Like for me, detailing like that's going to be kind of infrequent, so I guess I can put up with it. But yeah, if you're going to be using it a lot, or yeah, you've only got smaller batteries, probably think twice about this. Overall though, I'm pretty happy with how it polishes. I'm really happy with how the car has turned out. I think I'm overall happy with it. If I had to give it a score, I'd probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10. And that's really been brought down just by how much it chews through batteries. But like overall, I'd say I'm happy with it. And it saved me a lot of time and effort polishing the car. And for something that I won't use too frequently, it does the job.